Hello guys, this is Asharam and in this video I'll discuss the bottom-up approach to solve longest common subsequence problem. So in the previous video I discussed the recursive solution of longest common subsequence, and in this video I'll discuss the bottom-up approach, or more commonly known as iterative solution. And then the second part of the video is to print the longest common subsequence problem. So before moving forward, let me tell you about what is recursive approach, that is top down approach, and what is bottom up approach. So top down approach, first top down approach. So top down approach, you are given a problem of size, let's say n. So now you break it into problem of size of some small less than n. So you break it into two or some more problems, then you further break them, and then finally you get to some base cases f1 like f0. So your first step is to divide the bigger problem into smaller subproblems. Now you know the results of these smaller problems. So what you do is you combine them, then you will get the result of this problem. Then you combine both of them to get the result of this problem. Then you combine results of these two problems to get the result of final problem. So in second step we are combining. So actually this is third step. First step is to divide. First is divide. Second is base cases, and third is then combine the solutions. So this is our top down approach, and in your bottom up approach we don't worry about dividing the subproblem. So what we do is we directly start from the base cases and start building the solutions. So let's say I give you the Fibonacci sequence. So instead of doing like this, that fib of n is fib of n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2. So you'll break it into size of n minus 1 and n minus 2. So you'll divide it, then you'll use the base cases, and then you'll combine the subproblems. Instead of this, in bottom up approach, what we do is we start directly from the base cases. So we know the solution for 0 comma 1, fib of 0, fib of 1. So we use them to build the solution of fib of 2. Then we use these two to build fib of 3, and then so on. We use these two to build fib of 4, and in the similar fashion. So the bottom up approach have a advantage that you are avoiding this division step. So the constant factor in your time complexity expression will be less. But in my opinion, it is hard to think bottom up approach, because anyway you have to find the recursive relation. Okay, so it's just the implementation. So let's see the bottom up approach for LCS problem. So suppose that you are given two strings, this and this s2 is this. So and now you have to find the length of longest common subsequence. So in the recursive solution I told you about LCS I comma j. So what LCS I comma j was doing, that it was taking prefix s1 of size I and prefix of s2 of size j. Okay, and then it was finding length of common subsequence for LCS I comma j. So this was our function defined. So we'll use the similar function here. So now let's start. So currently we are at 1 comma 1, that is our prefix from this. So this is our s1. So this is our s1, and this is our S2. So currently we are at this index 1, both index 1, that is both I comma j is 1. So S1 is A and S1, that is okay, and S2 is S. So you can see that there is no common prefix, and initially we had longest common longest common subsequence as these empty strings. So our will put 0 here, then we'll move forward. Okay, so now you have increased S1, so we have incremented the prefix of S1, so S1 is now become AS. So as you can see, S is equal to S. So this means that our length of longest common length of longest common subsequence will increase by 1. So initially our longest common subsequence was empty string, and now we have incremented S. So initially we had this as our length of longest common subsequence, because we have included S just now. So initially it would have been like A and this empty string. So we have empty string here and empty string here. So initially this coordinate. Okay, so we'll do 0 plus 1, that is 1, since S are equal, they both are equal. Now we'll move forward. So we'll add A to S1. So now you can see that A and S are not equal, but initially we knew the length of longest common subsequence for this AS and S. So what we can do is, even if they are not equal, we can use these as our prefixes for longest common subsequence. So we'll take maximum of them, and for S and H they are not equal, then again we'll take maximum of this and this, and again they are not equal, so we'll take maximum of this and this. Okay, and now let's move to second row. So in second row you can see that H and A is not equal, so we'll again put 0 here, that is maximum of these two indexes. And then again H and S is not equal, so we'll take the maximum of both of them, because now our current prefix is S1 is AS, and in S2 we have SH. So what we can do is, we can simply ignore them. Okay, wait, so we can simply ignore these two, and we know the length of longest common subsequence for prefix A and S, that is this. No, wait, so we know the length of common subsequence for prefix AS and S, and the pair you can have A comma SH, so we can take maximum of both of them. And similarly H is not equal to A, so we'll take maximum, and now H is equal to H. So initially we know the length of longest common subsequence for prefix of S1, that is ASA, and for S2 that is S, that is we know this value already, and now we are adding H to both of them, that is to S1 and S2, that is we are incrementing the length of longest common subsequence for this pair of prefix. Okay, so that is 1 plus 1, so it should be 2, and then H is not equal to N, so we'll take again maximum. Now in similar fashion we'll build the whole table. So M is not equal to A, so again a 0, then again a 1, then again a 1, then again a 2, and finally a 2. And for then A is, it should be 0. No, it should not be 0, because A is equal to A, so it will be this diagonal character plus 1, diagonal value plus 1, and A is not equal to S, then maximum A is equal to A, so again diagonal value plus 1, that is 2, and then what, A is not equal to H, so again maximum, again finally this. And for N, this is 1 1, 2, 2, and finally 3. So this is our DP matrix which we used to construct using dynamic programming plus recursion. Okay, and now you know that length of longest common subsequence will be this deep coordinate dpm, and that is this value. So this is our length of longest common subsequence. Okay, and now what if we want to print the longest common subsequence? Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So let's say we start from here. So you can see that it is not equal to maximum of these two, but it is equal to 1 plus this diagonal character. That is, we have included just n right now. That is, initially there was some prefix of this pair of, that is, initially there was some longest common subsequence for these pair of prefixes, and now we added n to that. That's why our longest common subsequence, length of longest common subsequence has become 3. So we have included n, so there should be an n in our longest common subsequence. So we'll then move from here to here. So now 2 is maximum of both of them. So you can see that we would have come from either here or here. So let's say you go to this side, and now 2 is sum of this 1 plus 1, so we'll move here, and a should have come in the longest common subsequence. And then similarly, a1 is maximum 1 and 0, so 1 should have come from here, and then this one should have come from this 1 plus, so this s. And now if you wanted to move in this way, then you can move like this. So it will be this, and then so it will come from here, and then you can either move here and then like this, and then it will come from here. In that case, your this s, and then here we have this h and n. So there can be 2 longest common subsequences for these 2 strings. So yeah, so that's it for the approach, that is this bottom-up approach. Now let's see code for it. So okay, wait. So code is pretty simple. We add a DP array, then we build LCS bottom up. Initially DP is 0, and then we'll build the DP array using a recursive relation that I discussed in the recursive relation video. I'll mention the link for that in description. And we'll return DP m of n, and you can see that if s1, that is the both characters are equal, then we'll add 1 to diagonal value, otherwise we'll take maximum of upper value and or left value in the matrix, DP matrix. And for get LCS, that is print LCS, we'll start at m comma n indices, and then we'll move our way upwards by checking for the condition whether dpi comma j equal to max of I minus comma, that is dpi minus j comma ij minus 1, that is it is maximum of upper or left block of the DP array or not. So if it is so, then we'll move to that maximum, otherwise we'll move to the diagonal element and add that corresponding character to our LCS. And so let's run it. So you can see that we'll run it and we'll get 3 and SN. So I think that's correct. And time complexity of this algorithm is m into n, because yeah, we are just iterating over this m into an array. So yeah, that's it guys for now, and yeah, that's it. Thank you guys.